Good morning, spenders. I am leaving for Sydney in 1 hour on the bus and I have not even packed yet. I've got everything laid out, but I just need to put it into a suitcase. I had the most wholesome night in last night. I worked out, I did work. It was great. So I feel really ready to go to Sydney. I always feel like I have to gear myself up for Sydney trips because usually they're very full on, there's a lot going on, but they're also super exciting, especially because it's blockchain week in Australia. So I'm going to be attending some of those events virtually and spending a lot of time with people who I've met through my channel. Such a mess, but it's organized mess. It's like organized chaos. Anyway, let's go. It's the next morning and today marks the official start of Blockchain Week Australia, which is exciting. So I'm just getting ready now to head over to my friend Mark's place. Mark is one of the people who started the DeFi Association, which is basically just a group of people who are really interested and excited about decentralized finance. I'll leave a link in the description if you'd like to join the Discord chat because it's a really amazing group of people. When I plan trips like this, I usually only plan half my schedule maybe, and I leave it relatively open-ended so that I can say yes to things last minute and see people that I wouldn't usually get to see. I'm not a huge planner as it is. I kind of like to just go along with whatever's happening and take the lead from other people. And sometimes this means that I end up doing things quite spontaneously, and then other times it could mean that I end up having not too much in my schedule, so it's a bit of a catch-22. I had someone reach out to me the other day. It was actually a marketing rep for this NFT marketplace, but they mentioned in the email that they'd been following me ever since day 6 of my 30-day cryptocurrency learning journey, which ended up being 100 days. And if you haven't watched that and you're a beginner to crypto, it's basically me learning about cryptocurrency as a complete beginner from the absolute dead start and then doing that for 100 days. I learned a lot and I made a lot of mistakes. And I think it's a really accurate representation of what the learning process can look like. And the fact that when you're a beginner, you're not going to be an expert and you're going to struggle to sort of understand and explain things. And that's all part of it. There is absolutely no better feeling than a fresh face of makeup. This time my Sydney trip needs to be much cheaper than the last one. I got a little bit tap happy on my last Sydney trip and ended up spending a fair bit of money, especially on things like going out and lunches and meeting people. So I need to exercise some sort of restraint this time around, otherwise I'm going to be left with no dollars in the bank. That is when I'm inclined to spend the most amount of money, when I'm meeting new people, going out for drinks, going out for dinners, going out for lunches. I get a little bit too excited and that is not good for my bank account. So this time around, I think that I'm just going to keep it cheap and cheerful, as my friend says. So I'm here with Mark and a bunch of other people to watch a few speakers at the Blockchain Australia Week event. And Mark and I are going to go downstairs and have a little chat about the speakers and what we think of the event. There's a lot of chat about regulation in the cryptocurrency space and what's to come. So it should be a really interesting chat with Mark. I think we're just going to have to deal with it. Yeah, you can't see the pool.
No.
Why are we even here? We're actually by a pool. You can't see it because I don't know how to work my camera settings well enough. Okay, so as you know, it is Blockchain Week here in Australia and they are hosting an invite-only event, and so we have joined virtually to watch all of the speakers. And Mark has kindly invited me over to his place to watch the events, and I thought we could just do a little bit of a rundown on like your take on the event so far, especially because Mark's one of the founders of the Oz DeFi Association and just has a lot of knowledge about the crypto space. So this is just an opportunity to pick your brain.
It's been really interesting, the event so far. So what we saw today, we saw FTX announce that they're coming to Australia. It's kind of the worst, best kept secret kind of thing.
Wait, so who is FTX?
So FTX is one of the growing digital exchanges that are out there. So they're big overseas. Sam Bankman-Fried is the CEO and founder, and or maybe he's not the CEO anymore. I don't even know. But
he was on this morning.
He was on.
Right?
Yeah, he did the keynote. And it looked like he did it from his house. He might have been in some FTX pajamas, we don't know. And he was even saying Australia is up and coming in this space.
To our like beginners to cryptocurrency in the space, why is cryptocurrency important? Or why do you think cryptocurrency is important?
Like, the importance of it really depends on where people are coming from, because for some they're looking at it for investment, and some are looking at it for well, I want to build something in this space, or for us, for example, building a DAO that's touching on real world problems, such as bringing, for example, farmers together in Southeast Asia. And there's many that are doing it, but we're actually talking with people that are on the ground that are doing something there. So we're not just like up here thinking, hey, who can we help out there in the world? We're actually talking to people in that space. So you're going to hear about something called FUD. F-U-D. There's FUDers out there, and FUD is all about fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's basically a term that they use in this space to talk about the critiques. And there's plenty of critiques, many are very valid. The thing is, what was a critique today is not going to be a critique in a few days' time or a few weeks, because the space is evolving. And that's the biggest thing, that people are working hard to make the space a whole lot better.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how we think about cryptocurrency mainly as an investment asset, whereas cryptocurrency actually has so much utility beyond just being an investment. Like, you know, it also has huge utility for the unbanked world, you know, the 1.7 billion people in the world who, you know, don't have a bank account, but 1.3 billion of those people have access to the internet. And really that's all that's needed to transfer cryptocurrency funds around. So, you know, I think that cryptocurrency and Web3 is much more accessible, hopefully, to more parts of the world, but there is a huge still education gap there, and the space is still developing, and there's lots of like work to be done, but it is really exciting. And I think past my initial excitement about cryptocurrency as an investment, I started to think about, now I'm actually more excited because I realized that there's so much that cryptocurrency, Web3 and everything can do for the rest of the world, and also in potentially even helping us redistribute wealth, you know, in different ways.
I thought about it that it was just like, oh, it's Bitcoin, it's an investment, that's it. But there's way more to it than just that. Yes, there are scams and there are things that are going on in this space, but a lot of it is very transparent, and people talk about things like, oh, well, you know, it's the key for money laundering. Look at Chainalysis reports where it shows that illicit activity is less than 1% of the whole market, because the market grows faster than the scams. And whatever criticisms there are of crypto, there are answers. And the answers are usually something that's explainable, something that the person critiquing hasn't looked into yet, or it's something that the industry is evolving and working on right now. But it's not like the people that are doing the critiques are the first ones to point this kind of stuff out. It's like critiquing the internet or the Model T Ford or the first computers for not being good enough. Shit evolves.
Yeah, I learned so much from you. Do I need to move to Sydney?
She's got to move to Sydney.
I think a lot of people want to get into cryptocurrency and this space, but they don't really know where to start or who to connect to. And I must admit that I find it overwhelming at times with the amount of like chat channels that I'm a part of. The fact that I never had like Discord or Telegram before I started in the cryptocurrency space at all. So it can feel overwhelming, but no one starts in this area knowing everything, and no one finishes in the area knowing everything, because it changes so quickly.
And no one knows everything yet.
No, there's always something to learn. It took me a long time to get started in cryptocurrency. I mean, I think there was a 4-year time lapse between when I first heard about Bitcoin and then when I actually started to look into cryptocurrency. So, you know, it takes time. It takes time, that buy-in, and I think that like encouragement, especially with a new asset that's attracting a lot of like hype and volatility and that sort of thing, can be scary. But there's so much more to learn about cryptocurrency than just the cryptocurrency itself.
It's all the technology behind it that is so interesting and so fascinating. Like you said, it's an evolving space, and there are going to be imperfections with the space until, probably forever, but it's, those imperfections will constantly be refined.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
There's trade-offs, and the thing is, people just got to remember, if things are done well, we're gonna have more options as consumers.
True.
And so
Competition's a good thing.
Absolutely. So here's more competition, here's to evolution, here's to all the community building that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, months, years, all of the above. So we'll see you guys soon. Yeah.
I just got back from Mark's. I'm sitting out on the terrace at my hotel. I grabbed a kebab on the way home because I haven't had any lunch. It's about 4 p.m. and we're going out for drinks at 5 p.m. to a really nice bar/restaurant called Swyftx in Sydney. So I'm just sitting, relaxing for a bit, gonna read my Kindle and just chill.
Do something about you, immersed inside my mind. Maybe it's a sign, 'cause it's already over.
Going out for drinks and dinner and a little bit of jazz to Swyftx in Sydney, which is a restaurant that I've heard a lot about, and this is what I am wearing, just a little pink dress minus the hair tie around my wrist. But that'll be super fun. I'm going to bring you with me. There's lots of really cool people going, Mark being one of them, and then Harry Dell as well, who is a tax lawyer in the crypto space, really cool person, and Crypto Karen as well, who's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it.